Hi Disney friends, it's Amber with MickeyTravels, and I'm back today to do a little video on what you need to pack when going to Walt Disney World. We're leaving this week finally for our trip to Disney, so it's just perfect timing that I talk about what you need to pack in addition to things you already know when you're doing your vacations. Disney has some different things that you may want to consider when packing, so I want to share with you some of those things that I'll be putting in my suitcase as well. The list I'm going to be reading from is on my Pinterest. If you follow me there, you can get this complete list. It's with MickeyTravels, Amber Travis. That's my Pinterest name. And I also send it to all of my clients right before they leave. So that's another perk that you get from me, is my expertise in packing for your trip. Besides the obvious, depending on when you are going, the appropriate clothing, Florida is very warm almost the entire year. And especially in these summer months, it gets in the 90s with very high humidity, so tank tops and shorts are recommended. A hat and sunglasses as well. But one thing some people may not know is that, especially in the summer months, and July specifically when we're going, we have checked and double checked, and it's going to rain every single day we are there, and that's just because it's Florida, and it may be a 10-minute rain, it may be an all-day rain, but we know it's going to rain every day. So, since we've been to Disney many times, we have a few of these that we've purchased in the past that we are going to take along with us that feature our very favorite friend on them, Mickey Mouse. And these are rain ponchos, obviously. But if you don't have these from previous trips, these are expensive in the parks. And I would just recommend buying them at maybe the Dollar Tree before you go, Dollar Store. They have them there very cheap. And we're going to just put them in a Ziploc bag like this and throw them in our little duffel bag we're going to be taking into the park. So rain poncho, because yes, it's going to rain, especially in the summer. Comfortable shoes are recommended. Tennis shoes for those of you who want that. I am a flip-flop person. Sorry, I got an email. I am a flip-flop person, so I will be wearing these all over the parks. It's not recommended. This is what I wear. If I could be barefoot, I would. So that's life. But I will be taking socks and tennis shoes just in case. You might want to take these anyway and put them in your bag, because if you're going to be riding a water attraction, you're probably going to get your feet soaked and nastiness with the socks and the tennis shoes. So you will probably want to put these on afterwards anyway. That could be something you throw in your bag at the parks too. So sunscreen, yes, sunglasses, the shoes, the outfits, obviously. So let's go into some more details, maybe with souvenirs or what you're going to be wanting from characters. Autograph books are pricey at Disney as well, but if you've never got one that has the actual Walt Disney World on the cover, it's just something that you may want as a souvenir anyway. Every time we went as a kid, we just got them before we left and had characters fill them out. The party stores have notepads with characters on them that have blank pages, so those are like $1. So that may be something you want to take. But almost all the characters do sign. There are a few that don't. I have that on my Pinterest as well, if you need to know which ones don't have signatures because of the way their hands are formed when they're at the parks. They may not be able to flex their fingers to have a pen to sign. Bring a pen too. Other things that you need to consider souvenir-wise, they have those penny press machines everywhere, and you can look online for maybe a detailed list. I've been trying to do some research because this is something that I'm going to be doing this time around, is getting a bunch of pressed pennies. Some of the lists are outdated because they have Toontown on their maps, and that hasn't been in Disney for a few years. But I'm going to actually be making bracelets and necklaces out of the pressed pennies. So I've got a ton of pennies, and we made sure we got pennies that were before 1982 or before, because they don't have the copper, I guess, in them that'll streak the green when they're pressed. And we cleaned those with some vinegar and salt, and then I've got a couple rolls of quarters. So got that, put that in my bag that I'm taking into the park. You can take backpacks in those cinch sacks into the parks. They'll just need to look at them. Or fanny packs, if that's your thing. Done that before too. Souvenirs, others besides those two, the autographs, the pennies, there are numerous free things that you can get at the parks, and there's no prior packing needed for that. The buttons are free. The Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom card set, I'll be getting some of those. Maybe we'll try that out, have a video on that. Besides the pressed pennies and the trading cards that you can get if you're a pin trader and you want to take your lanyards with you, these are some of the ones I'll be taking with me to trade. I used to collect a lot of the Mickey pins that had pie-eyed Mickey. So I've got mostly, like, these are just the basic attractions with the Fab Five. Madame Leota, she's amazing. And then the stretching portraits with the characters. But the singing busts are my all-time favorite character from an attraction. So I try to collect all those. So I'm going to be looking for Haunted Mansion on lanyards. So instead of just buying a bunch of pins on eBay, which it's kind of risque because a lot of them are fake, I went ahead and used ones that I had traded for previous trips to try to shoot for more Haunted Mansion. Black and white Mickey's my favorite, but I'm going to try to broaden my Figment collection, look for some lanyard pins with Figment on them. And then, of course, Captain EO. He's amazing. And then there is a hidden Mickey set that goes with the Art of Animation that I'm going to try to get since we're going to be staying there, so I can maybe use those pins to frame. So you're going to want your lanyard and your pins you're taking with you. You don't have to keep them on these lanyards. I've seen people just carry them in bags because when you trade with people it may get a little annoying to take them on and off of your lanyard. But if you are a pin collector and you need more info on the rules of this or want to be a pin collector, I provide those as well. Those instructions for pin trading with any of my bookings. Food-wise though, if you're on the Disney dining plan, you get the free snack. Well, you get the one snack per day, but if you're not on the dining plan and you want to pack snacks, that's fine too. Think of like granola bars or something that will not melt in the hot sun. There is one snack you cannot get at Disney anywhere on the property, and that is gum. So if you need it for the plane or you need it for yourselves after dinner, pack your own. And just be sure that you don't stick it under something, because that's the main reason why Disney does not have gum anywhere. They want to keep their property clean. Another one of those magical things that Disney makes sure is happening. I do have a whole separate other video on infants and toddlers and taking them and talking about strollers. You can bring your own strollers. You can rent strollers off property or on property. So if you need to bring your own, you can do that. If you're going to have any guidebooks or anything given to you from your travel agent, be sure to pack those on your carry-on. If you are going to be using the Magical Express and you pack all that into the suitcases that you're taking underneath the plane, they don't get to your room for about 2 or 3 hours. So make sure you'll have everything you'll want on the carry-on instead of the actual bag that you're checking in. So we've covered basics. I mean, there's all other kinds of essentials that you may need when going to any type of theme park. First aid kits, lip balm, a change of clothes. I don't know, just the obvious. So some other things that you might want to think about taking into the parks that are different from others. If you're going to be watching the fireworks, glow sticks are pretty cool to take in, and those are really cheap. I tend to give all my clients some of those before they take off. Those battery-powered water squirters are all over Disney World, so if you can get some of those before you go, that might be a cost-saving benefit too. If you're wanting to send mail, like you want to mail postcards while you're there, bring some stamps. One thing I have done research on is I tend to buy tons of souvenirs anytime I'm around Disney stuff, obviously. So you can pack a smaller bag in your suitcase maybe just for souvenirs, or even if you want to go above and beyond, you can bring mailing supplies with you and put all of that in a box and ship that back home after you've done your vacation. Maybe a little pricey on shipping, but it may be worth it instead of paying for a whole other bag depending on what airline you're using. So people have done that too. Some of the last things to think about, don't forget to pack these magic bands. In fact, you might not even want to pack them. Put them on the day you're arriving to Disney, if this is going to be everything for you. And all of your documents, again, do not put those in the suitcase, put them in your carry-on. So that's a brief rundown of everything that you may need when planning for your Disney suitcase, so to say. Besides the obvious, I just wanted to share with you some things that you might need to consider when getting ready to go. Again, if you have any questions or would like to book a trip through me, it was officially announced that 2015 trips can begin booking starting July 30th, so I can help you plan for that future trip if you're interested. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and then again, follow my Pinterest boards for a lot of the info that I shared with you today. That's all on a list, so you can have that with you before you go. Next time I see you will hopefully be in the parks. We'll be traveling this week, and then I'll have various videos to share with you for months ahead of time. We'll have them based on days that we're in certain parks, or themes, or activities that we're doing. My sister and I are really excited, and I'm super excited to try these things out and to try some new dining locations. We're going to attempt to eat as much as we can in Epcot. Have a magical evening. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and I will see you really soon. Thanks again. Please subscribe. Bye.